Dressing for presentations and being on stage is one of the most stressful situations for women in leadership and entrepreneurs. And what stresses most women out is the same big question. What should I wear? I know this because I've heard this question millions of times. I've helped countless women dress for important presentations, conferences, visibility moments, networking events, and more. So in this video, I'm going to show you which presentation outfits make you look like the leader in a room, what to avoid, and how to approach your wardrobe so you don't stress before an important event. Hi, my name is Basia and I am a former celebrity stylist turned personal stylist, and for the past 15 years I've helped executives, directors, CEOs, and successful entrepreneurs walk into a room and immediately look like the woman in charge. And to help you get started, I created a free guide that shows you how to build a polished and put together work wardrobe without defaulting to the usual black suits and gray dresses. The link is below. So let's get started. I've dressed women for over, I would say, 20 years. And I started by dressing celebrities for all kinds of events, from the Golden Globes to the Oscars to smaller events, junkets and meet and greets and a lot of other events. And I've done it absolutely all. So when I shifted my business to start working with women in leadership and entrepreneurs, one of the biggest issues I kept seeing was the same question coming up over and over again. What should I wear to important conferences, presentations, and networking events? And most of the time, my clients came to me at the last minute in a full panic, trying to figure out what to wear, because they knew how much their presence and their clothes would speak for them when they stepped on stage or walked into a big presentation. Now, before we even talk about what you should wear, we have to go through a simple process to determine what the best outfit actually is. Now, there is no one outfit I would say I can tell you to wear across the board, and the reason is simple. What you wear to a presentation depends really on many different factors, and there is no one single outfit that works for every situation. So the first thing we have to decide is who you are presenting to, and this matters more than most people think. So for example, if you are in the tech industry, you might see people wearing, let's say, jeans, hoodies, and business casual looks. But if you are presenting to a more conservative group like finance, you're going to dress very differently. So who you're presenting to and what kind of environment you're walking into is critical. You want to stand out, but you also want to fit in. So if you're presenting to a group in the finance industry, you're probably not going to show up in like a super bright pink suit, right? So most likely that would just be too much for that environment. Now, number two is your role. Now, if you're a presenter, I'm assuming you are in leadership and all eyes are on you. And as the person on stage or on a panel, you want to fit into the environment, but you also want to stand out in the right way. So your outfit should position you as a leader. That means good fit, strong structure, and more elevated feel compared to everyone else without looking like you're sticking out in a way that, feels off for that specific room. And number three is a few practical things that you have to think about. Are you going to be standing or sitting? That alone can determine whether you wear a dress or skirt, pants, and what makes the most sense. Think about the environment. Is the event in a hotel, outdoors, indoors? And the background really matters more than you think. So if the background is dark and you're wearing something dark, you're going to blend in. Like if the background is, for example, red and you're wearing red, you're going to blend in again, right? So all this needs to be part of the decision. So now let's talk about what you should actually wear. So number one, and this is what I tell my clients all the time, wear a color. What do I mean by that? So if you wear something very dark and you're on stage, you're going to disappear. That's why I always tell my clients to pick a color. Now, if you are in a more conservative industry like finance and you want to keep it safe, go with neutrals. So think beige, browns, navy, taupe. These colors are more than appropriate across the board, and they work even for very conservative audiences. So browns, navies, and softer neutrals are always acceptable and still elevated. Now, the goal here is to be visible, obviously without being too loud. So if you're in a panel wearing a color like this, it will help people notice you and pay attention to you, especially when many other speakers are wearing black. And black tends to blend in, particularly on stage. On the other hand, if the environment is more relaxed or like more casual and you feel confident wearing a bright color, this can be a great way to stand out. Your outfit can help position you, keep the attention on you, and support your presence in a room instead of working against it. Number 2 is structure. I always tell my clients that wearing structured pieces is a very smart move, especially for presentations. And here's why. A well-structured, well-fitted blazer or suit immediately gives a leadership feel. It signals authority without you having to say a word. This doesn't really mean that you have to wear a full suit, but a blazer with like a great structure that fits you really, really well, paired with, something more feminine like a skirt or tailored slacks is always a great choice. And this kind of outfit works across the board, whether you're presenting to a more conservative crowd or a more casual one. So number 3, stay away from patterns. And I usually suggest solid colors, and here's why. Patterns, even small ones, can be distracting on stage. And as much as I personally absolutely love patterns and I wear them all the time, I still tell my clients to avoid them when we are presenting. So what you want instead is richness without distractions, right? So the easiest way to do it is through texture. So for example, tweed instantly adds that depth and that polish feel without pulling attention away from you. You can also look for pieces with a little subtle details like trim, piping, delicate lace around the collar. Details like this are refined and understated, and they don't take attention away from your message. They actually help your outfit to look more elevated, more polished, and more intentional overall. So number 4, let's talk about shoes, because trust me, I've seen a lot of great presentation outfits completely ruined by the wrong shoes. So first, avoid boots. Now, boots tend to look heavy and chunky, and they are not the best choice for presenters, whether you are sitting or standing. And I usually recommend slim heels. They can be low heels or higher heels, but the more that streamlined, pointy shape, the better. Now, these kinds of heels help elongate the leg and make the entire outfit look more polished and elevated. Boots, on the other hand, add weight and bulk to the look, and that's exactly what you want to avoid when you are on stage. Now, there are a couple of things when it comes to choosing between skirts and pants. It really depends on what you like to wear, whether you are a pant kind of person or maybe you absolutely love dresses, okay? So this really comes down to what your personality is, what you absolutely love to wear. You might be more a pants person like I am, or I might prefer skirts or dresses. Now, if you're choosing a skirt and you'll be sitting, go for something that gives you that freedom of movement. A pleated skirt works really, really well because it drapes absolutely beautifully. An A-line skirt is also a great option. Just make sure the length is below the knee, because once you sit down, the skirt will rise. Now, what you want to avoid when sitting are tight silhouettes, so like pencil skirts and overall structured skirts. And these don't drape very well when you sit. They are uncomfortable and they also don't photograph well. They also tend to look stiff and awkward. When it comes to pants, this is absolutely much easier. Pants are great for sitting and standing. The only style I would avoid when sitting is heavily pleated pants. When you sit, the pleats can create extra volume around the crotch area, which is not very flattering. If you're standing, pleated pants are totally fine. Lastly, I want to talk about what to avoid, and you have to remember that you have about 7 to 12 seconds to make a first impression, and in those first few seconds, people decide who you are, what your role is, and what you stand for. And one thing I usually tell my clients is to avoid a full black suit. The very traditional black blazer with black pants is extremely conservative, and the problem is that it makes you look like everyone else. I can almost guarantee that many women in a room will be wearing some version of that outfit. A typical black suit does not position you as the leader who is about to present. Now, another thing to avoid is dressing too casually. This includes denim. So no matter how casual the environment feels, I would still avoid denim when you're presenting. A casual outfit sends the message that you blend in with the group, not that you are the one leading it. And you worked so hard to get to the level where you are presenting, and your outfit should reflect that instead of making you look like everyone else. So now you know what to wear if you're presenting on stage, maybe you're on a panel, what to avoid. If you want to learn more, I have a free elevated work style guide, and you're going to find it in the description below. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to get notified when I post a new video, which is every Wednesday. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next week.